got some Kragg Ranno here. More Kragg. It's not too surprising. Yeah, I know Ranno's been really popular in recess lately in the lower brackets, but not so much main bracket.
Weird.
I think, let's see, it's pretty much just jorts for the most part when it comes to Ranno rep.
I love jorts.
Jorts are pretty cool, yeah. But we're gonna see here what Raggedy's able to bring to the table this week.
I'll save a story about jorts if we see him in the bracket. Did jorts even enter tonight?
Nah, jorts did not enter.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah, like I said, tonight was pretty small. Not that I blame people for it, but...
Yeah, it is like the 4th of July. A lot of people are probably out and about, having barbecues.
Pretty much expected that going in. Nothing off the dare. A lot of time, like, when you get pressure like that, it's important that you kind of use that to your advantage. To make the call out. I think in that situation, if they tech as Kragg, if you like did hit fall and then like dash back a little bit down strong, you might have been able to cover all tech options, but I could be wrong.
This match is suddenly a lot closer than it was a second ago.
Yeah, Kragg damage.
Raggedy... I just mean Raggedy was doing a good job pulling it back, because they were at like a stock deficit and had a lot of extra credit on them, and then they just said, okay, I'm just going to do Ranno things and get this a bit back to a manageable situation. Now we're kind of back in the old situation of this, like, oh yeah, down a stock, a lot of extra credit.
Yeah.
But from like seeing what I just saw, you can't count out Raggedy. They seem like one of those players with the X factor, like all of a sudden they're up against the ropes and then their gamer gene activates and then they just 0 to death you out of nowhere and you're like, what just happened?
If any stage do it, it's gonna be this stage. Get the gamer gene with the Megalovania power up. Ooh. That really wasn't the right option, but it still killed anyway, so...
It wasn't the right option, nor was it the right hitbox, but luckily Sinbad didn't have the correct DI.
Oh,
see, gamer gene activating.
It's these low percent combos, yeah. Raggedy's really struggling to kill right here. Ooh. But, oh wait, that... No! Sinbad hesitates!
Waited too long.
I think Upstrong would have killed right there, honestly. I would just Upstrong.
Hesitation is the enemy, and all of a sudden we're even.
That would be alright, yeah. Ranno's still kind of at more risk right here. Oh, never mind.
See what I mean? I don't know why it tipped me off, but I'm just like, this dude has the gamer gene. This guy has the hidden gamer gene. It's gonna activate somehow.
You felt it in your soul, yeah. I respect it.
Sinbad did a good job playing around with when he had the lead, though.
Yeah.
He definitely played responsibly, kind of hung back, tried to use rocks to rack up good percent. Maybe went for a confirm here, decent confirm here and there when he knew he had a good enough opening. It's a very solid play, but in the end, Raggedy just had a very solid punish game in his own right.
Yeah, honestly, to me, it felt like Sinbad has, like, good ideas, but a lot of unfinished ideas. Like, you have the start of something down, but then you're never quite sure how to, like, what to do after it. I think putting those pieces together...
And that's just a matter of experience.
Yeah, definitely, on some level. Experience is a huge thing. But I'm just wondering, like, if Sinbad's going to be able to properly put his ideas together here, going into these next couple games.
And, like, it's okay to have, like, incomplete ideas, like, especially when you're at, like, a lower level like this. That's perfectly fine. It also, like, once you finally piece it together and you have, like, that revelation, like, that final just click, and your game plan is complete, it's so gratifying.
Yeah.
That was a very good parry.
It was.
I know tongue is like a bit. It's one of those moves where it's like in theory should be like extremely easy to parry, but like just because it's like for me because it's so slow, that's what makes it hard to parry. I'm just like, man, I expect it to be faster every time.
Yeah, I guess I feel that too. Oh, the dash attack. You run into the blind spot.
Advice from Mr. Raggedy. This is something like my boy Trace used to struggle with a lot, which is like, oh hey, your main opener, your neutral winning tool that starts off your advantage is usually dash attack, and it's just like there are so many better options you could be going for. There's nothing wrong with dash attack. It's just that at those close ranges, just like the wave dash forward, jab down tilt, or even just cutting out the middleman and just doing down tilt.
Yeah,
or
and
bear covers a lot. I mean, not up bear. Up tilt covers a lot of range. Forward tilt. Ranno has a lot of very good openers.
and not to mention needles.
Mm-hmm. Especially if like charge needles, just get that parry. Just.
Yeah, and I think charge needles can also sometimes make them like feel like they have to move and like kind of force their hand a little bit. Because full stack needles are one of the most obnoxious moves in the game. Because
It's so good.
You hit the nail on the head. Like we're seeing Sinbad really has these parry timings down.
Looking at Twitch chat, I see Raggedy. He known about it for a while. Is just challenging the muscle memory. Yeah.
Muscle memory is
Getting-
a bitch. I get you.
It's so hard to untrain yourself from muscle memory, especially when you're just like, man, this is very detrimental to my game plan. I gotta get this out. But then you just like fall back into it because usually the things that cause muscle memory are like things that are very rewarding, and Ranno dash attack is very rewarding.
Yeah. And also it's just relatively simple to use for the most part. Alright though, let me just do one thing for production. Alright, game 3 here on Tropical Pond. It's definitely a stage I hear mixed things about from Ranno players. At least from the ones that I see talk about it. I feel like on paper that would be a really good Ranno stage.
Yeah, I can see that. It goes pretty deep for the bottom blast zone. Not a lot of space, so it's easy to pressure opponents, and needles reach farther. Those overhanging platforms give Ranno some much-needed flexibility with his recovery. I'd say it seems like a very solid pick, but I'm not a Ranno player, so...
Yeah.
Ooh, the Dacus in neutral. Kind of a strange option, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna work, you know? Oh, okay.
Every time, he just nails him with the forward strong when he least expects it.
Yeah, I mean...
I guess that's, like, the strength of forward strong as Ranno, because, like, on paper, it's, like... Up strong is just, like, the objective best one. It covers so much, it does, like, good damage, it does 2 poison stacks. But just, like, the other 2, just, like, as a throw out, all of a sudden option, it can be very effective.
Yeah, I think the main thing about F strong is, like... If you don't DI the sweet spot hit, it is pretty strong. And I think that move is really good for, like... Oh, that was a really fast game. Just completely losing my train of thought, because I did not expect it to be over. Interesting. So yeah, Raggedy is going to be going 2-1 right now. So that's a nice little counter pick advantage here for the rest of the set. Sorry if you can hear my dog, it is fireworks night, and dogs don't like fireworks, so not much I can do about that. I feel bad.
My cat was nipping at my ankles not long ago, and I'm like, what do you want?
Animals.
She just sits there. This is a good counter pick on Sinbad's part.
Oh, definitely.
Kragg loves those good old big blast zones, and like the stage, very easy to survive a long time on, and also just such a big stage. So
Yeah.
homey, so roomy.
I'm honestly stunned that it wasn't banned.
I wonder what the other 2 bands were.
Yeah, right?
Or the other 3.
Rather, because, like, again, I'm like, this really... It's very possible there's some level of comfort pick here. Like, I've seen some bizarre comfort picks for pretty much every character. But, I don't know. Either way, though, this is even for Sinbad right now. Not too bad. So apparently it was Abyss, Rockball, and Tempest. It's actually... That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
If you consider that nobody wants to play on Tempest.
Yeah, nobody likes Tempest. You never want, like, whenever you're in bracket, you don't want to give your opponent, like, the benefit of the doubt that they're just not going to pick Tempest, because sometimes they just pick Tempest on you, and then you, like, hate their guts. You just, like, hate this random internet goer's guts for like, the pettiest reason.
I don't personally mind Tempest. I've never really picked it, but I don't really mind it either. And I know it's, like, a pretty good runner stage, though I can't entirely blame you for banning it. Because those are pretty good bans, yeah.
Yeah, terrified ever since you got camped out by a Kragg. That's a very valid point.
Okay, you know what, fair.
Let's see. The other 2 picks, though. Rockwall. Yeah, that's a good Kragg stage, but that's also a very good, like, Ranno stage, especially with, like, how you kill it. Because, like, on paper, it's probably better for Kragg, but, like, just in the context of the match with how often you're not only going forward, but also killing with forward strong, those small side blast zones might not be a bad idea.
Yeah,
and Endless Abyss, yeah, FD, kind of whack.
As someone who plays another character that hates Fire Capital in Clarin, I would much rather fight Kragg on Rockwall than Fire Capital any day. But I think Raggedy's still putting up a really solid fight here, keeping this mostly even in the tongue here too. Yeah, it feels like a lot of the stuff that Sinbad's getting is essentially just like Raggedy messing up. Sinbad managing to have something to hit him hard for it.
Which is honestly how, like, it usually goes at, like, a lot of levels. Wait for opponent to mess up, punish opponent. Basic bread and butter stuff.
These autopilot movements definitely feel like, just like that, yeah. That's really a bizarre time to go for F-Strong, and right there, it's just not gonna pay off at all. But game 5 here, Raggedy's got one more counter pick up his sleeve. He's gonna be using it for the home field advantage, which I can respect. This is a pretty solid honor stage. It's a good crack stage too, but as I said earlier, what is it?
It's a starter.
It's also a starter, yeah.
This is actually one of those stages that I've stopped taking Kraggs to as Sylve, because I'm just like, you know what? As Sylve, I don't want my opponents, especially the more, like, patient and, like, throw projectile variety. I don't want to give them high ground.
Right.
Why would I give them high ground?
That was really unfortunate for Sinbad. That's a costly mistake. Gonna be catching with the Nair. Good Nairs right here. I think these Nair combos could be a lot better though. It's Kragg Nair again, it's such a good move. You really need to be making the most of it.
It's another one of those Swiss Army knife moves where it's like it has disjoint, it does like decent damage on its own, it combos into like everything.
Yeah, the move is crazy good. I feel like it's a lot better than it looks.
Like you look at it and you're like, what is this move? This looks stupid and smelly, but then you like experiment with it and it's like, man, this is like just the best aerial in the game. Or one of...
Seriously.
Like, it's only the best aerial in the game because Kragg's other aerials, like, go nutty as well. But, like, just having something that can lead into an up air, or like an up strong, or forward air, or just like whatever,
Yeah, or
consistently, even at like a high percent, is so invaluable. It's like we saw Skyline just ZB landing like the Nair one into an up strong. It's like,
yeah, right, and like
why?
especially at ledge, because you don't even have the option of DIing out anymore. At least depending on where you're hit.
Very good lead for Raggedy right now, though. Oh, I like the recognition that he wasn't high enough percent to just kill outright with the down tilt up strong, so I went for the down tilt up tilt.
That's an unfortunate DI right there, getting caught on the tech. Sinbad's still in this, but it's not looking pretty. If any character is going to make this work, it will be Kragg, though.
Ooh.
Not a bad recovery.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't like that. You got the parry. Don't just immediately strong attack your Kragg. You have like stuff like jab, dash attack. Widen your scope of like the things that you have access to.
Right there, I'd say down air is a really good, is a really safe option.